James Harden is playing insane basketball right now. Already this season, he's averaging 34.8 points per game, 8.6 assists, and 6.3 rebounds. These numbers are absolutely crazy. And he's been on a 30-point game streak. The last time he scored under 30 points in a game was December 6th, 2018. I believe it's a 19-game streak now for Harden. And in those 19 games, the Rockets have only lost 5 games. So they also have a pretty good record, 14-5. I mean, it's not amazing, but they're doing very well. They started off poorly, and it's just James Harden on the team right now. Chris Paul, Clint Capella, they're out. So James Harden just absolutely beasting. But in today's video, since James Harden is doing so well, we're going to see if he can help out other teams, if he can do the same thing if he was on other teams. So we're going to be putting him on the 5 worst teams in the NBA and seeing just how well they do with James Harden. So we're in NBA 2K19 right now. I have traded James Harden for the worst player on the Cavs. That way, you know, we don't really mess up the Cavs roster. We get rid of the worst player that doesn't even play, and it works out well. Kevin Love is going to be playing in this. I turned off injuries. So the team is going to be, I mean, the rest of the players are bad. Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, the only other two, and James Harden is just killing it this year. So let's see how good the Cavs can do. They're the worst team in the league right now. But the other teams we are going to be using are the New York Knicks, Chicago Bulls, Phoenix Suns, and Atlanta Hawks. So those are currently the 5 worst records in the NBA. And we're going to be seeing just how good Harden can do with these teams. Okay, so after the first season, James Harden does win MVP. And I want you guys to comment down below on which team you think Harden will do the best with after all the ones I just named. So James Harden gets MVP here, 31.6 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 8.6 assists. So kind of similar stats other than the points. The points are a little lower than what he's doing in real life, but still making a huge impact on the Cavs. Currently in the NBA, the Cavs are 9-35, and James Harden was able to take them to a 51-31 record starting from the beginning of the season. So obviously less losses than the Cavs have right now, and the Cavs aren't even done this season. So Luka Doncic going to get Rookie of the Year. I mean, we don't really have to check out these stats. Steve Kerr gets Coach of the Year. Warriors doing unbelievable. James Harden, of course, obviously on that All-NBA first team, with being on the MVP and everything like that. Anyways, we're going to move on here. Check out just how good the Cavs did. Looks like they're the 2nd seed in the East. So we'll check out standings real quick. They are the 2nd seed, of course, behind the Raptors, going 57-25. Wizards make it into the playoffs. Right now, they are one of the worst teams. They're 18-26, but they ended up making the playoffs. Nets get in there, Celtics, Pacers, Pistons, and 76ers. Very surprised that the Bucks are not in the playoffs. Did Harden just completely mess up the East? And then at the bottom, we still have a few of the same teams. Bulls, Knicks, Hawks are usually down there as well. But let's see how the Cavs can do in the playoffs here. See if Harden can get them to an NBA championship. So let's always simulate right there. Cavs get a 1-0 lead against the Pistons. 2-0 lead, 3-0 lead, and is it going to be a sweep? No, the Pistons get a game on them, and they should move on. The Pistons get another game, and let's find out if they move on. And finally, the Cavs move on against the Detroit Pistons. The Rockets, on the other hand, going out in the first round in the West. So let's find out. We're into the second round now. It's going to be Cleveland versus the Indiana Pacers. Cleveland up 2-0. Cleveland up 2-1. Pacers getting a game. 3-1 for Cleveland. 3-2 now. Can they move on here? And no, it's all tied up 3-3. And just like that, Harden and the Cavs choke a 3-1 lead in game number 7. They're down by 12 points. Only 40 seconds left. So they are going to take the loss right here. They already have all their backups in. So we don't even actually get to see James Harden. Actually, you know what? Let's get Harden at least on the Cavs. We got to see him in the jersey at least. Where's Harden at? Oh, well, James Harden actually fouled out, so we can't even get him in the game. He did foul out. Let's check out the stats for the team, though. Colin Sexton with 26 points. Colin Sexton going off. Harden, 19 points, 10 assists. He played 42 minutes and then fouled out. That is insane. But, I mean, the Cavs going to get the loss here. Let's just sim to the end. So team number 1, Harden wasn't able to win an NBA championship with. He averaged 32 points in the regular season. Playoff stats, he averaged 34 points per game, 4 rebounds, 8.3 assists. It's crazy he's still getting those assists and averaging such a high number of points. So team 1 not able to do it. Let's see who ends up winning the NBA playoffs here, just to see how consistent 2K will be. It's going to be Raptors Warriors. Raptors end up winning this one. So sometimes Raptors do end up beating the Warriors. Doesn't happen too often, but sometimes it does. Kawhi Leonard, 96 overall MVP. And up next, we're going to be moving on to the New York Knicks. So here we go with Harden on the Knicks next. Of course, Porzingis is going to be playing with this. We're acting like Porzingis isn't injured anymore. So a lot of these bottom teams do have a few injuries. So that's why they're doing so poorly. Like the Knicks would be doing a lot better if Porzingis was playing. But now we got Harden and Porzingis on a team. I think this might be a team that could contend for a championship. They're actually looking pretty nice. So at the end of the second season with Harden on the Knicks, he's actually not able to win MVP this time. It's going to go to Stephen Curry. Jeremy Lin wins 6th man. We don't see that too much. Nick Nurse of the Raptors gets Coach of the Year. The Knicks end up going 48-34. Let's see if James Harden made any of these All-NBA teams. Not on the first team. He's not going to be making those second teams. Second team, he's not on either. And the third team, Harden, is not on any All-NBA teams. That's very surprising. We saw him go from MVP to not on any teams, going on to the New York Knicks. Knicks are 4th in the East, so it's going to be a really tough second round matchup for them. We'll check out the total standings. Raptors, Celtics, Wizards on top. It's weird the Wizards keep getting up there. They're doing horribly in the NBA right now. Right now in the NBA, the Knicks are currently 10-33, so 48-34. A huge improvement for the Knicks when they do add Harden. Bucks barely make it in the playoffs. This is so weird how the standings are actually turning out. Let's check out just how good Harden did. So Harden not even averaging as many points as Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis taking over the team, and Harden just doing mediocre in terms of scoring. Still getting a lot of assists, rebound. He's still doing good in those categories, but just not scoring as much with Porzingis. Maybe Porzingis is the first option. Who knows? Let's see how the Knicks do in the playoffs here. Up against the 76ers in the first round. They're all tied up 2-1, up 3-1. And are they going to win? No, the 76ers get another game, and it is now 3-3. And a super close game in Game 7. Knicks are up by 1 point. They got the home court advantage. Let's see if they're able to close it here. Harden with the ISO on Ben Simmons, but he can't get open. The result, Porzingis inside and one for Kristaps Porzingis. He's going to be going to the line here. And let's see if he can get the free throw. He actually misses. Enes Kanter with the board, and the Knicks just took over the game right there. So Porzingis with 37 tonight. Looks like Porzingis is like the game changer in these games instead of it being James Harden, which is actually pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Here we go with Embiid in the post. They pretty much have to score here. 3 would be ideal, but you don't want to give it to Ben Simmons for that. Ben Simmons step back and he misses. So that's going to be game right there. The Knicks are going to move on. So yet again, Harden getting to the second round. Let's see if he could win this time. Last time losing to the Pacers. This time up against someone a lot higher in the Toronto Raptors. Raptors up 1-0. Raptors up 2-0. There we go. Knicks finally get a game. There we go. Knicks tied up 2-2. 3-2 for the Raptors. And they eliminate the Knicks. So the Knicks not able to get past the first round right here. James Harden, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Let's see who ends up winning yet again in the playoffs. Is it going to be the Raptors or the Golden State Warriors? It is going to be the Warriors this time. Curry with Finals MVP. And I want to check out playoff stats for James Harden. Okay, so still Porzingis the lead scorer on the team, just 20 points per game with Harden. I feel like if they gave Harden the ball a little more, might have done a little better. But up next, we're going to be moving on to the Chicago Bulls. Okay, so here we are with Harden on the Bulls. In terms of like pure talent, this is one of the worst teams so far. On the other teams, we at least had like Kevin Love, Porzingis on the Knicks and the Cavs. But on the Bulls, we really don't have another star player. You got Zach LaVine. I mean, he's doing well this year. But other than that, not too much. Maybe Lauri Markkanen can improve quite a bit. But let's actually find out. Okay, so we made it to the end of the season. No MVP for Harden. The Bulls go 37 and 45. Let's see if Harden made any of the All-NBA teams. He's going to make the second team along with Chris Paul right there. So let's actually check out his stats for this year. Only 23.4 points per game for James Harden. Let's move on. Bulls not even going to make it into the playoffs. They did awful. They started off terrible. Their record would improve. They go on win streak and then loss streak. And the loss streaks were just worse than the win streaks. Harden's up to a 97. Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen going up a bit, but just not quite enough to even make the playoffs here. So let's check out our season stats. Let's go to player stats. Harden only with 23.4 points per game, 8.2 assists. He did not do good on the Bulls at all. His best team still so far was that Cavs team. That was his best chance to win. And we're actually moving up into the better teams now. But the Bulls just not able to do it with Harden here. And he just didn't do enough on the court. Probably the system, because I mean, he works fine in certain systems. Other ones, with coaches, everything doesn't work out next. But up next, we're going to be moving on to our next team. And we're actually going over to the West with the Phoenix Suns. Okay, so we're over on the Suns now. And realistically, this should be the team that does the best in terms of like pure talent. I mean, this is the best out of all the worst teams. You got Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, TJ Warren as well on there. We're going to have either James Harden or Devin Booker running the point guard position. Harden might be the one to do it. I actually want to check out if he goes up. He actually drops by 2 overalls, putting him to point guard. So we're not going to mess with that. If the CPU wants to put him at something, they will actually do it themselves. But let's find out how good Harden can do on the Suns. See if he can do better than what the Bulls did, because the Bulls had an awful showing. Okay, so we finished simulating the season with the Suns. Curry going to win MVP again. Another MVP-less season for Harden. He won the first one, but that's it with the Cavs, and now he can't really do anything. 44 and 38 for the Suns. They might have made playoffs. Not exactly sure. Let's see if Harden is going to make the All-NBA second team. I hate how it just skips teams and stuff. Doesn't really make sense. But Harden on the All-NBA second team right there. And the Suns were over in the West now. They are the 8th seed in the NBA in the West. That is not going to be good for them. Warriors in the first round. That is going to be tough to actually beat. Let's check out how good Harden did this year. Player stats as playoff stats. We need season stats. Harden and Booker kind of averaging around the same amount of points. Harden with 9.1 assists, 5.2 rebounds. DeAndre Ayton also putting up a good number of points. So with another scorer on the team, Devin Booker, James Harden not scoring as much right here. Everybody improving a little bit here, though. This team is actually looking pretty good. If we simulated more seasons, I think they'd have a good chance at winning an NBA championship. Up against the Warriors, though, in the round number 1. They're going to take a 3-0 lead. Okay, so we're in game number 4 right here. Warriors up 3-0. But the Suns actually have a chance to win a game right here. They're down by 5. Now they're down by 6. And now they're down by 7. But they still have a chance. I want to see what Harden is going to pull out here. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 they got on the court with Booker, Harden, and Kelly Oubre. I forgot they do have Oubre. He should do well for them. And Devin Booker draws a foul. Okay, so the Suns need a big stop right here if they want a chance at winning this. And going, at least getting one game. Durant fading away, and that is good to go. That is ridiculous. And timeout for the Suns. DeAndre Ayton was wide open. What is going on? Harden from 3. It is no good. Curry gonna get the ball. This might be game right here. I feel like the Suns aren't gonna come back at this point. Looks like Devin Booker just staying with the ball here. Popping the three, and Devin Booker gets the shot to go. But I think it's too late right now. Warriors are going to win this game. So checking out the box score, Devin Booker dropping 25, Harden with 24. Booker getting a lot more minutes. Booker also with more assists. DeAndre Ayton with a double-double there. Unfortunate for the Suns, they had to face the Warriors in the first round. They're going to get eliminated because I believe they would have gone to the finals or to the Western Conference Finals if they faced off against any other team. I feel like they would have done a lot better. Let's find out who wins the NBA championship. Should be Warriors Raptors yet again. Yeah, it's going to be Warriors, and Raptors are going to be in there. They almost lost a big lead, and the Warriors with Boogie going to be the finals MVP. And we're going to be moving on to our final team of simulation. It is going to be the Atlanta Hawks with a 13-30 record right now. I don't know if I mentioned the Phoenix Suns. They were 11-33 this season. So here we go with the Hawks now. We got James Harden, John Collins, Taurean Prince, and Trae Young, of course, on this squad. So they don't have another shooting guard right now. They got Kent Bazemore, but they don't got a really good shooting guard. So James Harden should fit in decently with this team. Let's see if Trae Young is going to give him the passes or what is going to happen this season. I think the Hawks might not even make playoffs. I think they're one of our worst teams, the Bulls and the Hawks, because they don't have much star talent on their team. And yet again, Harden not getting MVP. Unfortunately, he got it that first season and then just no more after that. The Hawks are going to go 39-43, so they still have a chance at making the playoffs. Harden gets on the All-NBA first team, so he's probably like runner-up for MVP. He's up to 97 overall, which is one of the highest overalls in the game. Should be like third highest now. Let's just advance here. The Hawks are not going to be in the playoffs, unfortunately for them. The Cavs actually still end up making it. Let's check out the conference of the Hawks. I feel like, yeah, they were right out the Cavs. They tied with the Cavs, but weren't able to get in. That is so unfortunate. Just did a little worse in... Actually, they did better in the conference, probably head-to-head. They did end up losing to the Cavs. So close to making playoffs. Not able to, though. Let's check out the season stats for Harden. He's going to put up 25.3 points per game, which is 9 under what he's doing right now in real life. So it's insane. On all these teams, Harden wasn't able to make a huge difference. The only team he still did just as good on was the Cavaliers, which is kind of interesting. But anyways, guys, we had Harden on the 5 worst teams. Wasn't able to make championships. Made second round twice. And he also did not make playoffs twice, made it in the first round once. So James Harden, not quite good enough to get these bottom teams into the playoffs. He also did not perform as well on these bottom teams. Anyways, this has been your boy Smequle. If you do enjoy the videos, make sure you are subscribed if you aren't already. Also, make sure to smash that like button, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Never in the same space that we started at. Throw the ball, I run the play like a quarterback. I've been up all night trying to make a stack, trying to get a plaque and flip a dream into a solid fact. Hustled hard for it. One day they will notice. Chasing in the day.